We're out here in the shed. Things are a little cattywampus there on the camera, but that's kind of the only place I got to sit you out here. I come out here to grab the thing that I'm going to use to build at least some of the frame for that trailer. Some of the stuff in here needed to get moved around anyhow. Blah blah blah. A lot of the stuff in here is garbage. I'm going to take the opportunity to restack a lot of the stuff in here, make some more room. And there's part of it. There's the other part of it. So this is what my father used to call the humping machine. He usually had a shit-eating grin on his face when he said it. There are some pretty good straights and all that stuff. I do need to check and make sure it's not aluminum, because I just got a flux core welder, so I don't think I can weld aluminum with that. I mean, I think you can, but I don't have the right filament or whatever. So yeah, let me I'll run up to the garage real quick and grab a magnet. We'll see what it is. Alright. Hey. Magnet sticks to it. That tells me that it's galvanized, which means I can indeed weld it. I haven't really decided if this is going to be the only thing that gets used. I do have some more scrap back there. I got an old futon frame, but I don't think that would be rigid enough. It might get utilized, who knows? But then also too, I can sort of fill in the gaps with stuff that I can very easily make it work. So let me finish moving stuff around in here, get everything set back up to where I can lock the door and shut this down, and we will reconvene in the garage. It's a handful of days later, and I guess you could say we have reconvened or whatever in the garage, whatever I said in the last little clip there. I got the bearings in. The problem is these are the wheel hub bearings, and they're not the right size, so they will be getting returned. I do, however, have the bearings for my axle shaft support things. So just what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a Dremel and just clean the inside of that up real quick, because I've already tried to push these down in there. Now they do need to be a compression fit, but a part of it being a compression fit is that it actually fits in there, and they currently do not. This one is just from rust. This other one is because the old bearing, the outer shell of it is still in there. I hammered as much of it out as I could, but you can still tell that some of it's still in there. So yeah, I'm just going to tinker away on this for a little bit. Do whatever else I can. I'm not really quite sure. I just got home from work. It is currently 7 in the morning, and this sounds like a nice little project to start the shop day off with. we have made a certain amount of progress. First, well, as you can see, the wheel hubs are on, and I even got them coated in the rust stuff. I got on the axles here washer, kind of like just it's some kind of, I don't know if it's like straight up like plastic or if it's some like amalgamation or polymer thing or whatever. Bad news on the bearings that went in the actual hub of what was once the rim. First off, I had to, I don't know, I hesitate to say custom order, but it was kind of custom just because usually in my experience is when you are ordering this kind of stuff, like bearings and stuff like that, you're going to get them in packs. They're going to come in like 10 or something like that. This was, I gave him what size bearings that I needed, and they were like, okay, got you, next screen over. And it said, how many do you need? And you got them in ones. It truly is unfortunate that they didn't wind up working. They fit in the hubs. However, once I got them seated down in the hub, they wouldn't spin anymore. So I don't know, maybe I could in the future. For now, I'm going to use the bushings. They have the grease fittings on them, so that'll be perfectly fine. But in the future, potentially, I could maybe get a similar bearing, but in just like a fraction of a size, because those are not. So I think the caliper or whatever, when I put it on there, was 0.97, and I was like, well, so 0.97 given whatever slop or tolerances, that's an inch. So that's what I got, and it was right there. I mean, they were an inch because I put the calipers on them before I put them in, and when I hammered them in, like I said, they no longer rolled. There was too much compression around the outside of the outer layer of the bearing. That's a guess, if I had to have one. Anywho, so I cut out some more washers out of 8-gauge galvanized, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop all this crap back off. This is just for demonstration purposes, I guess. But I'm going to pop all this crap back off, and I just need to drill some holes through the axle for like a little keeper pin. And then from there, I'm going to get the rims put on. I think that's where we're at. You can also see that I have the bed mounts or the frame mounts or whatever put back on. This one over here needs some work. I might get a shorter tensioner bolt or whatever we're calling this thing here. And then I also kind of noticed it was sitting kind of weird, because you can see there. So you see how this one over on the right side is well, it seems fine. But then that other one's got a little kick to it, and I think that maybe, I don't know, that may be something to do with the bolt. It may be something to do with like because there's a cutout on here. There, you can see it. There's that cutout there that may be making that sit funny. I'm not entirely sure why that one is the way it is, because this one straight up bolts to this. So I don't know. Other than, I mean, if it bolted straight in, you could see that would shorten your frame width quite a bit on whatever this was going on. So that's probably a reason for that. Looking at it, Enough rambling. We're gonna do the thing with those that I had explained earlier. All right, guys, we got her did. As good as it's gonna be for now. I still haven't greased my little fittings there, the bushings or whatever, but that won't be any issue at all. I'll just do that real quick. The tires, Ducati Wampus as predicted. but nowhere near really as bad as I thought they were going to. And I might even be able to take some of that slop out by just getting some lug nuts that fit better. Because these are, the ones I got on there now are not, they don't really fit the lugs that I bought. They kind of do, the lugs are standard, and then those lug bolts or lug nuts or whatever are metric. So there is a little bit of slop in them. But yeah, so there that is. Now I get to drag this out to the shed. Well, first what I'm going to do is I need to take some measurements in between where I'm going to mount the frame up on, and so I can start measuring out the rails and cutting them and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm pretty stoked about it, though, to be honest with you. Just kind of another thing that I didn't think I was going to be able to get done, and you know, there it is, sitting right there looking at you. Well. As you can see, we are back out in the shed. Got the little trailer axle rear end thing pulled in here, and I've been having some issues now finding lug nuts. I have a lot of half 20. I have a fair amount of, what were they, 12 and 1/2. That's not 12 and 1/2, it's 1/2 12, I guess, whatever. These are the only ones that seem to relatively fit, and like I said, these are the ones that don't really fit. I have, what were they, quarter 14 or half, I think they were half 14 over here on the dark side. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see. So this one here fits amazing, and that's half 14. Problem with that is you can't really see it. You kind of see it there. So there's no lug nut on this one because there was another one of these on there. I took it off, and then when I tried to put it back on, it was too big. Like, it just kind of slides on there. So I don't know if it's a bum lug nut or what. They're all old. They're all just crap I found sitting on a shelf in the garage there. Yeah, I'm currently trying to find lug nuts that fit. I did have an idea, though, which would involve me buying parts. Unfortunately, because so before I sidetrack myself too much, I was thinking about maybe putting some spacers in between the homemade makeshift hubs and the wheels, and that would, first and foremost, that would allow me, that would give me a little bit wider of a wheelbase. Not much. The biggest spacers I have are 1 1/4 inches, and they don't fit. You know, good news is all of the other wheel spacers I have don't fit either. So there's that. So yeah, I'd have to purchase some spacers, but in purchasing the spacer, I would then be able to get the correct lug bolts. And really what I would do is I would just, the spacer I would get, I would make sure that the lugs that came off of that spacer were the size of one of the lug nuts that I actually have, so that I could just use them. That still, however, wouldn't really solve the issue of these lug nuts not fitting. So, instead of going to my very local hardware store, I'll probably wind up going to Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, with a much broader selection of random nuts and bolts. Hopefully I'll be if I can figure out what size they are, for sure, I can then get the correct bolt. I'm still thinking though that I can get a die, a tap die, a thread cutter, and seeing which one I have threads onto that. That should tell me, but I'm almost certain I did that already, and it gave me half 20. I don't know, just for the sake of it, I might do that again before I go buy some more crap. I don't know. But yeah, there she sits. I'm going to start cutting up the humping machine over there and getting what I can from it, looking at it, reassessing how big I want the bed of the trailer to be at the very least. I'm definitely going to have to fill in some gaps with stuff from work. The straights that you see there on it are not, they're not, once I cut them down, they're not going to be very big at all. I might only, like thinking about it, that might be enough material to just build out the part of the frame that sits right above my wheels, and maybe kind of build out the wheel wells, I guess you could say. I mean, they're not really going to be wheel wells, they'll just be little unks that kind of just barely pop up over the tire there. But yeah, so there's that. I will take the opportunity to sort of give you a little bit of an update. I put a short out. Not a super big fan of those, but they seem to get a lot of traction. So I did put a short out, and I figured for the video viewers, the people that watch that don't do the shorts, this will be a little sneak peek for you guys as well. Back in the garage here. So Trans Am and boxes, those are rims, and they are not the snowflakes. So everybody calm down. Alright, I know. But I feel alright. I think these are gonna look pretty good, especially if I can get some work done on them. Now they don't need work, but let me see if I can't get a better. Yeah, that's way better. So I think these will look good. They're 18 by 9. Issue is they're 5 on 5. The Trans Am is a 5 on 4 3/4, I think it is. Never fear, I can buy spacers for these. With them being 9 inches wide, I might even have to have bought spacers for them. So I don't really know, because obviously I can't, I can't fit it up there. I mean, I can kind of put it in, but it's not really going to tell me anything. So those are the rims. As soon as I can get rubber on them, and balanced, they're going on, so I can finish the brake job and finish the Trans Am video that has been foretold. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, all of that, good stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys.